Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about why I quit. I'm done. I'm going to explain that in just a minute.
With every start, we are born again. Open your heart, spend this time in your head.
I've been getting an awful lot of questions lately. A lot of questions lately. And there's a reason for that. And it's actually a good reason. Because there's a lot of voices. It seems right now more than ever, there's a lot of varying opinions, differences of opinions. They are butting heads, going against one another. And I realized something the other day. You guys know how we ended up with the standard American diet, something called nutrition science. But if you really look back, there really wasn't much science or even much nutrition to it. It was Ancel Keys's great idea to end world hunger using a ton of grains. Essentially, his plan was to stop people from going hungry. While for the most part in America, he did succeed in doing that, he also managed to give most of us chronic diseases ranging from diabetes to Alzheimer's to contributing to cancer. Unfortunately, we have started to think that now what we're being told about nutrition must be true. It wasn't true back then, but now it is. And I had this epiphany. It's still nutrition science. It's still uncertain. We don't actually know. And the reason I can say this is because I can show you tons of studies that will tell you that the vegan diet is the best diet ever. Well, we know that that's not true, right? Especially in this space. We know that carnivore and or keto is far better than veganism, but they still have the studies to prove it. Well, there's also studies coming out saying that more protein is better. And then there's other ones showing that less protein is better. Guys, I hate to break it to you. It's still nutrition science. We still don't know. And what we think we know, we may not know. Ancel Keys was completely convinced that fat caused heart attacks. And in a way, it made sense when you thought about it logically. Sure, you eat the fat ends up in your arteries, it's giving you a heart attack. Duh, isn't that obvious? We could very well be doing the exact same thing right now. Unfortunately, we don't really have the option to just quit trying and move on with life. Because we have things that we need to heal. We have damage that's been done to us for our entire lives, and we have to do something to try to fix it. So what do? Well, this is where I quit. I quit for right now. I'm not going to listen to any new information until I try applying what I have learned. The problem I see so many people running into is that they listen to a bunch of people and then they try to implement all of those things at once. It doesn't work. So what I have decided to do personally is to take an informational hiatus. I'm not bringing in anything new until I give it the good old college try to put everything new one at a time into practice to see how my body responds to it. And let me explain to you why I'm doing this. Just recently, Amber O'Hearn did an interview on Kelly Hogan's channel, and it was phenomenal, fantastic. I'm actually having Amber on my channel here in just a few days. I'm going to record with her. Through that interview, I got scared. I started to worry that I wasn't eating enough protein. So even though I was feeling good, I decided that I wanted to up my protein because I didn't think I was upping it fast enough, and I wanted to make sure that my heart was going to be protected. So I went up to 100 grams of protein a day. Unfortunately, around the same time, I started doing some of the supplements to try to heal. Let me just say that things did not go well. I ended up in extreme pain again. My fatigue has been almost overwhelming. The pain the rashes, the swelling, the mental instability, although has been by far the greatest problem that I have dealt with. I had a full-blown panic attack and meltdown in my husband's arms out in the front yard underneath our maple tree for absolutely no real reason. At that moment is when I decided I'm done. I have to stop listening to what everybody is saying until I have tried one method at a time. I have to start dealing with the Lyme and the H. pylori. I'm still not entirely sure how I'm going to do that because all of the natural supplements that I've been trying to take, my body has been vehemently rejecting. But my pain is getting worse. The burning in my stomach from the H. pylori is getting worse. I don't really have much of a choice at this point in time because if I can't take a natural path, then I'm going to have to take a synthetic one. I'm looking at possibly doing the courses of antibiotics because I am getting worse while my body fights me. There's going to come a point in time where we have to do the best that we can do, even if it's not perfection. So I have decided that that is where my focus needs to be. I'm brewing some homemade kombucha right now. It's got about another week until it's ready. And then I will look at doing an antibiotic round when I can get established with a doctor who will prescribe them to me. It's time for me to start getting better. And the natural course that I had chosen, my body is rejecting. So I have to come to terms with that and move on. I cannot make my body do something that I want it to. In the meantime, I dropped my protein back down. My pain level shot up in correlation to the amount of protein that I was eating. The other thing that shot up was my blood glucose. My morning numbers were in the 70s, maybe even the low 80s on most days. And they jumped up to 97 and even 107 one morning with simply raising my protein to 100 grams a day. My pain level skyrocketed, my lethargy came back, and the swelling and inflammation in my legs also came back, even after I stopped taking all of the supplements that I was doing. I also noticed that with the increase in protein, I got constipated. So taking all of those things into account, I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do until Kelly did another interview with Stephanie Keto Person. In her interview, she explains that with her clients, and she's had, I think, upwards of 4,000 of them, she keeps them on a very, very low amount of protein, anywhere from 45 to say 65 grams of protein per day for a woman. The average woman, yes, it absolutely varies, but she has reasons for doing that. So I decided to go ahead and drop my protein back down to where I felt better because I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of being tired. I finally started to heal being in a deeper state of ketosis, and that left very quickly. Not only was my blood sugar rising, but my ketones were also beginning to drop. For me, specifically, I really truly do think that I need the deeper states of ketosis. I've also discovered that most people who suffer from Lyme feel worse in the fall and the winter. Well, guess what? The first day of fall was about a week ago. So I need to be able to feel as good as I can, as often as I can, no matter what that looks like. So I've dropped my protein back down. Most days I'm between 58 and 68 grams of protein. My pain level has reduced significantly. I woke up this morning and my numbers look a lot better today. I feel better. The mental clarity is back. My brain isn't on fire anymore. I can handle when something bad happens. Just yesterday, we were sitting all in the kitchen and I was cleaning and Bella knocked a mason jar off and it hit the tile floor. Yeah, it shattered. And the very first thing that comes out of my mouth in those situations gives me a temperature reading of how I'm doing. Where am I? And the very first thing that I said was, "It's okay. It's okay. Don't move." And that tells me I'm back. I'm back to where I should be. Because if it had happened even 24 hours prior to that, I have a feeling my reaction would not have been the same. I was more concerned about the children getting hurt on the broken glass than I was about the broken glass. The day before, it would have been all about that broken glass. And that is not the person or the mom that I want to be. So I'm done. I am done trying new things and going to keep implementing new things to see what I can tweak and if I can get even better. I have so much going on in my life right now. I can't keep doing this. And this last go around was a very good indicator of what's to come if I don't stop. So I want to encourage everyone who is looking at trying all of these new different things and you're only doing it for a day or two, slow it down. Pick one thing. Maybe even stop researching, stop listening until you've had a chance to actually implement the things that you've recently heard. That's another thing I've noticed is that a lot of people end up with information overload. You hear 17 new amazing things that could possibly work because they worked for someone else. You can't implement all 17 of them. Maybe number 7 was actually going to be your magic ticket, but you only got to 5 and then you forgot about 6 and 7 and you started back up with 10. If we overload ourselves with information, we may become burdened and bogged down with it to the point where we can't use any of it. So I want to encourage everyone, learn something new. I'm sure you've probably already learned enough. Stop. Don't take it any further, or start making an actual physical list in order of things that you think that you need to do. And then give each one of them a good, honest try. I did the higher protein for nearly 2 weeks, and the pain just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I thought, surely it's not really that bad. It couldn't possibly be this. I think it really was. I tried the supplements for 3 days before I had a massive reaction. I had to stop those immediately. My husband made the suggestion that maybe we should just try to push through and see if it's just a detox. But after this last go around, we're pretty much done with Crazy Amy because that was terrifying. I felt that I was slipping back down that hole in my mind where I can see things, but I can't stop them from happening. I could not stop myself from having a panic attack for absolutely no reason, for thinking about a cat jumping out of the window of my car. Literally no logic, no sense whatsoever. I can't become that person again. So I have to make the decision what I am going to do. I am going to stay in a deep state of ketosis. I am going to relax. I am going to take it easy. I am going to stop rushing to try to find my right answer to get better as fast as I possibly can. And that's one of, honestly, the hardest things to do. I've been sick only a few years with Lyme. I want it gone now. I want it done. I was willing to sacrifice some time to do it in the way that I thought was proper. My body is not playing along. But more than that, my mind isn't either. I cannot and I will not go back into that depressive state again. And if any of those supplements, which all of them have plants in them, if I can't handle those, I will not take them. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to do something that I don't want to do. I don't want to take the antibiotics. But at this point in time, I think I need to take the antibiotics for my mental state and for my physical well-being. I need to start dealing with this now. I can't prolong this much more. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't keep learning, but I am saying that you could already have your answer. But if you haven't tried it out, then you're not going to know. And if you don't try it out by itself, you're not going to know. And if you forget about it because you found out about the newest shiny thing, new shiny thing syndrome, then you're not going to know. And you may miss out on your formula for success because you changed too many things all at once or forgot about it altogether because you had too many other things that you wanted to try. I have to slow my roll and start working at my turtle's pace, back to taking it easy, not stressing so much, just keeping my protein down, keeping my fat way up, and work on what I need to do for me. Stop worrying about the judgment that I could get from this community for saying I'm going on antibiotics. I have to stop worrying about all of those things. I have to do what is best for me. And I encourage you to do the same thing, because it's so much easier for us to tell other people what they need to do. And it's a lot harder for us to do it for ourselves. But I want to encourage you. I want to give you permission right now to do what you think you need to do, your inner knowing. Give yourself some time to adjust and process to it. Any changes that you make really should be given a solid 30 days before you see what is happening. How did your body respond? Just because the scale went up for a few days doesn't necessarily mean anything. A few days later, it could go right back down again. It could just be the adjustment period. It could be because you've introduced some foods you haven't tried in a while and you have to re-wake those enzymes up in your stomach to be able to digest them properly. Unless you're having a super severe reaction, like I did, go ahead and try it again. See what happens. I was 2 solid weeks on the higher protein. It was finally very obvious that it was not an option anymore. Whatever you need to take away from this, whatever permission you need from me, you have it. Slow down. Do what a lot of others may not think is a good idea or proper or perfect. You take care of you and do what you need to do for you. With that, I'm going to go and check on my kids. They are working on school right now, and we have not a whole lot of chores to do today, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go outside and enjoy the beautiful, crisp fall weather that we're having. I encourage you guys to do the same. Get outside and enjoy the weather as much as you can. If you're down lower where the hurricane is on the way, please be safe. Please be smart. And just know that my prayers are going up for you. Thank you guys so much for checking in with me today. I hope that this was encouraging. And please like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys on the way. It's still unsure. Much long. I don't. What you guys doing? Are you done?
We're doing the thing with Bella because we're waiting on you to be done so we could do Kingdom Tales and Times Test.
Okay, Kingdom Tales and I wish we had a timer that actually worked for a minute other than my phone. Here, I'll give you this phone. You can. Whoa. I will give you this one. Bella, can you do times test for brother and sister?
Okay, let's go.
0, 1, 0.
That's it. 0, 1, 0.
George, shut the door.
Please.